right, this morning, Fox 5's Holly Morris is going behind the scenes at a beer distributor.
She is at Premium Distributors in Northeast D.C. to learn more about the beer industry. And Holly, I must admit, I don't think that I knew that D.C. had this whole big beer industry. So I'm learning something today.
Yeah, you're going to be amazed about the beer industry here in the greater Washington area. In fact, let me just throw this out for you. In just the district, the beer industry employs just under 3,000 people. In Maryland, it's like 30,000, and in Virginia, it's 43,000. So you can say beer business is big business in D.C. And when you are at a beer distributorship, let me tell you, it is nonstop activity. There is stuff going on continually. We've had to be careful this morning and make sure we're not in the way of all of the trucks and all of the beer being loaded, and it's empty right now. But you want to know why it's empty? Because they've already done that work early this morning. The beer business starts early, and nobody knows about that more than my first guest. This is Rebecca Spicer. Come on over here. She's with the National Beer Wholesalers Association. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Holly.
And it's funny because it looks like we're just standing where there's nothing going on, but a whole lot has already gone on.
You know, you saw it. It was incredibly busy earlier today, wasn't it?
It was incredibly busy. In fact, we got some pictures of what was going on here. So kind of tell everybody what happens in the early morning hours at a beer distributorship.
Well, and it's not just the early morning hours. It is 24/7 at a place like where we are at a beer distributorship across the country. There are 98,000 men and women who are working around the clock to make sure that you and other beer lovers have the beer of your choice at the end of a hard-working day.
How did you know I love beer?
Well, they told me. We had a conversation ahead of time, so I knew that.
And in fact, a lot of people love beer, and it looks like over time, more people have gotten into it, because I was reading in the 80s, you know, there weren't that many breweries.
Right.
But now there's like some 2,000 cross-country.
You're absolutely right. You did do your homework because you do love beer, I know. But you're right. It's been really fun to watch the growth, especially in the craft beer industry. Here alone at this warehouse, there are over 400 labels of beer. I bet you haven't tried all of them, have you?
Not as far as you know.
Oh, well, we'll work on that. But there's 13,000 labels of beer available across the country to consumers, and it's really exciting. Styles of all different types. Lagers, lambics, pilsners, porters, you name it. There's something for every palate, which makes it just so much fun to go try something new.
So when we're talking about all these people that work in the beer industry, give me an idea of what, like, the jobs are here. What are the people doing here?
Sure. Well, they've got really solid jobs, which is really important to note in this time of economic recovery. And we saw a lot of people, of course, loading the beer trucks this morning. You saw some fellas loading kegs and cases, and those are really heavy items, as you saw. I didn't lift any, but they were heavy, and getting them onto the trucks in order to get them out to what we call on-premise retailers, like your bars, like your restaurants, as well as the stores where you might go and buy some of this beer and take it home for your dinner tonight. So we have those folks. We have drivers. We have the people who...
I sincerely hope and apologize if you heard me singing the Laverne and Shirley theme song. But it's a brewery. They work there, remember?
Yeah, okay. We will get back to that shot when we can. Obviously, we lost some aspect of it, but we'll have more coming up in just a little bit.
I'm sorry.
It was great.
Thank you.
I don't think they heard it, unfortunately.